The dietary supplement industry has proven to be sort of a wild west nowadays. While its global market value is projected to grow to more than $300 billion by 2028, it's left a lot of unhappy consumers in the rise to the top. To increase sales, some businesses make outrageous claims about their products that the FDA is often having to police. For example, in 2022, 7 companies were called out for illegally stating their supplements could treat and prevent heart disease. This industry can make a lot of health claims, but Dr. Cara Welch says that the statements regarding the treatment, prevention, or cure of a condition crosses the line.
A lot of the claims that we might see on a product label or labeling, we have to review that in-house to determine whether the claim is, again, intended to be for the treatment, prevention, or cure of a disease or health-related condition. And then we would ideally contact them and let them know that, they are making inappropriate claims. But there are a lot of claims that are appropriate for dietary supplements to make.
Welch is the director of the FDA's Office of Dietary Supplement Programs in the Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition. The broadest category that these companies can make claims about is called the structure of function, which focuses on how a product affects the body's normal function or structure. You're probably familiar with many of them, such as calcium builds strong bones, or fiber promotes regular bowel movements. However, supplement companies don't have to get FDA approval for these statements. As Welch mentioned, the FDA's oversight in this industry is mostly after the product hits the market. This role was established in 1994 when the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act was amended.
And so before that, dietary supplements were regulated as either foods or drugs, because those were naturally the 2 categories that these types of products would fall into.
Now, there's a distinct category for dietary supplements with an explicit definition, thanks to the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, also known as DSHEA. The act established that these products are not drugs and are instead under the umbrella of food.
Which means all the foods requirements apply with sort of the specific dietary supplement allowances in some cases and dietary supplement requirements in others. The goal was really to ensure consumer access to products, I would say to safe and lawful, high quality products, sort of balanced with the ability for FDA to take action to protect consumers from unsafe or otherwise unlawful products. So keeping in mind that balance of consumer access with ensuring FDA has the authorities, the majority of our activities come into play after a product comes to market. So there's no systematic way for FDA to know which products are coming onto the market, which ones are on the market today, and maybe which ones have been pulled off the market, reformulated, and then put back on the market. It really requires a lot of constant surveillance from FDA to keep up with the status of the marketplace.
The very little pre-market oversight they do have comes into play when new ingredients are introduced.
There is the requirement for manufacturers and marketers to submit a pre-market safety-based notification for our review. However, it's just a notification, not an approval. So our response talks about sort of our impressions of the information in the notification, but we don't approve dietary supplements. We don't approve them for safety or efficacy.
Instead, that responsibility falls onto the manufacturer and the company who's putting the product out on the market.
The majority of products can likely legally go to market without ever telling FDA. So there are a number of requirements. A dietary supplement manufacturer has to register their facility as a food facility. Dietary supplements are a category of foods. And that sort of tells us where the facility is located and the general activities of what they're doing. Are they manufacturing, packaging, labeling, or holding product?
There are also labeling requirements called good manufacturing practices that ensure products are consistent and meet quality standards. Welch says that the FDA uses check-ins to confirm that these conditions are being upheld. This covers the safety and quality standards, but Welch says a third priority is that consumers have access to both products and relevant information about what they're buying. The 1994 Act made sure that there would be minimal barriers to putting products on the market.
A manufacturer can put a product onto the market without ever really engaging with FDA. And that's the aspect that really ensures consumer access. What we have done to ensure that these products are safe and high quality and properly labeled, of course, is to establish labeling regulations and manufacturing requirements. We have safety standards that were established by DSHEA, and all of those requirements ensure that the products the dietary supplement industry is putting out, when they meet the safety standard and they're produced under good manufacturing practices and properly labeled, that's what allows consumer access to a high quality marketplace.
However, the marketplace has shifted quite a bit since 1994.
In 1994, we were dealing with a significantly smaller industry, but it was also a more simple industry. There were fewer firms, fewer product types, fewer ingredients. And what we've seen over the last 30 years is this marketplace has grown rapidly. We have probably a conservative number, but well over 100,000 products, different types of products. It's a $60 billion industry.
More than that, Welch says many of today's supplements are much more engineered than past products.
We are dealing with products that have several dozens very complex ingredients. They are precisely formulated products, often with novel ingredients or complex blends included.
And the rise of online shopping has widened the marketplace from stores in your neighborhood to anywhere in the world. But does this new landscape change the efficacy of the FDA's oversight? Last year, the FDA warned consumers not to buy certain supplements because the products included harmful, hidden ingredients not listed on the label. FDA tested the products after noticing a rise in adverse event reports. In a separate instance, the owner and 4 executives of USP Labs pled guilty to mislabeling their dietary supplements in 2019. The case revealed that they listed a natural plant extract on the label of pre-workout products. In reality, they actually used a synthetic experimental stimulant and told the manufacturing company to create fake certificates that verified the lie. In an effort to keep up with the industry, the FDA has created a proposal that will modernize some requirements.
We are looking to strengthen and to modernize the dietary supplement oversight authorities. We are not looking to sort of undercut that balance that was established by DSHEA of consumer access balanced with FDA's authority to protect consumers. So our legislative proposal would be a pre-market aspect, but what we are looking for is merely product listing, where we have requested the authority to establish a product listing or a dietary supplement listing requirement, which would require any dietary supplement brand to basically provide their product information to FDA.
Which includes the name of the product, a list of the ingredients, and amounts of each present in the supplement, as well as information about the brand owner to serve as the responsible party. Welch says if approved, the FDA still won't pre-review or authorize products, but it will help them keep track of the marketplace as it continues to evolve.
And then it would be up to FDA to sort of follow up on listing information that doesn't seem right or that, maybe demonstrates a product is unsafe or otherwise unlawful. But it would really be sort of our responsibility to follow up on the information as we feel appropriate.
Welch believes this move would help to increase safety measures while still keeping consumer access at the top of the priority list. However, some people argue that they want these assurances before a product hits the market and is bought by thousands. To this, Welch says consumers are able to take matters into their own hands and work side by side with the FDA's current efforts.
It's important to keep in mind that FDA is really just one voice in this discussion. Most of the changes that are being discussed would be legislative changes. So I think it's important to consider that, FDA has a process to propose legislative changes, but so does industry and consumer advocates, healthcare professionals. All of those parties I just mentioned play a really important role in ensuring a high quality and safe dietary supplement marketplace. And the goal of legislative modernization, I think, is to ensure that whatever the end product is something that works for FDA as the regulator, absolutely, but also works for industry as the regulated parties. And most importantly, works for consumers to ensure a safe, high quality dietary supplement marketplace.
Although it will take time for these modernizations to be approved and implemented, there are tools consumers can use right now that will help steer them towards quality products. Both the FDA and NIH offer information on dietary supplements and ingredients. You can find these resources as well as information about Dr. Cara Welch and all of our guests on our website, radiohealthjournal.org. For more behind the scenes, follow Radio Health Journal on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Our writer-producer is Kristen Farah. Our executive producer is Amira Zaveri. I'm Elizabeth Westfield.